Welcome to the Study Abroad Opportunities session for the family orientation. Welcome to William and Mary. We're really looking forward to working with your students and you in the years to come. So my name is Sylvia Mittendorfer. I'm the director of the Global Education Office, among other things, at the Reeve Center for International Studies. The Global Education Office at the Reeve Center serves as the home for all things study abroad for our students, and we look forward to working with you in the years to come. As you may have heard, and since you're already here, you already have an interest in study abroad. But as you may have heard, study abroad is a pretty big deal here at William and Mary. In an average year, our students are going to over 55 different countries. They have hundreds and hundreds of program choices, which I will say make some of these orientations and introductions and overview discussions sometimes challenging because we have questions like, what does housing look like? Well, the answer is it depends with so many different choices. That could be dorms or homestays or apartments or a wide range of places where students might be living. Similarly, for academic pursuits or for language requirements or other requirements. But by having so many programs, it is our hope that we can help your student find the program that meets their academic and personal interests and aligns with their goals. And so, again, lots and lots of different choices. More than half of our students, about 55% of our undergraduates study abroad or conduct research abroad by the time of graduation. And increasingly, we're seeing our students going multiple times. Not too long ago, had someone graduate a STEM student with 5 study abroad experiences. And most notably for all of this, all the programs we're talking about, they all carry what's called the Call 300 designation, the Call curriculum, which you'll hear a lot about. It's a general education requirement. And so part of why I highlight that is, first of all, just it's often a question, but secondly, it takes us kind of it signals how important we see study abroad here, how it may be just seen as, oh, this is great. But no, here really we see it as integral to the William and Mary education. When our faculty came together to decide what should be in a general curriculum for all students, international and global context, with a understanding that the majority of students would meet that through study abroad, was front of center and what our faculty chose as they developed this core curriculum. So that signals to you already academically, we see that these experiences are study and they are critical in that academic pursuit. They provide our students opportunities to see their field of study in a completely different context. A picture here, of course, you can see the pictures of different places if you're studying archaeology, but being there gives you a whole nother sense of scale and experience and being able to engage and learn skills on site. But that could also be across all the fields, whether that be our students out in the field or seeing the things that they're studying in government courses unfold in different places. A whole range of ways of thinking about your field of study, but perhaps from a different perspective or a different context of where you are. So academics lead in all of this. The goal is very much that these experiences and the study abroad programs contribute to their overall arc of study of their academic experience here. And at the same time, we also see study abroad as a really powerful way of connecting to the overall growth academically and personally with already an eye to the future beyond William and Mary. I know you've just gotten here, but know that all the things that we're crafting now and developing have always been with that context of how does this empower our students for life, not just here at William and Mary, but really life beyond William and Mary. And that is certainly one of the powerful messages we consistently get from our returning students and our alumni about how study abroad has really prepared them for not just the global world, but really also life beyond William and Mary and learning about others and seeing different contexts. It really is about learning about self, right? And developing and understanding that in different ways, building resilience and flexibility to adapt to things in new ways that travel and living somewhere else always require us to. And so when we think about the benefits of study abroad, there's certainly the academic element, but it really is a holistic image for that too, that it's growth academically, personally, and then also in clarifying goals and other ways of thinking about plans beyond William and Mary. Our programming has that very intentionally built in. We work closely with the Career Center and the overall Applied Learning for All initiative here at William and Mary. So, as I mentioned, hundreds and hundreds of choices, which can make this really tricky at times. So, if your student comes to you and says, "Oh, I want to go abroad," and you're trying to understand a little bit more about what kind of program or what they're looking at, these are the five main categories of programs that we work with. Faculty-led short-term programs, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a minute. As the name implies, it's a group of William and Mary students with a professor leading them abroad. All of the William and Mary faculty-led programs have a pre-course for winter and summer programs. Um, and so there's a way of already preparing before being on site and for the group to get to know each other in that context. The sponsored semester programs are several programs that we design with partner universities and organizations in different places to craft some programs and offer programs to our students that wouldn't be an option for students otherwise. We also partner with many different universities around the world for semester exchange programs where we literally are exchanging students, allowing students to see what life is like at a different university. And these are top-rated universities around the world. We offer a small number of what we call embedded international experiences and study abroad, also for Call 300. These are semester courses at William and Mary that go abroad. There are not many of them, but sometimes we have some for winter or for spring break, or even immediately after the end of finals in May. There are two of these programs, but one type that's a kind of subtype of this is we work with other offices, a DC office and Global Research Institute and others to offer the Global Scholars Program, which has an embedded international study abroad experience through our office. That's a full year experience with a number of different experiences with this one as part of it. And then last, but certainly not least, we work with hundreds of other programs. We call them third-party programs. And while they're not run by William and Mary, students are able to enroll in these programs, get credit, remain William and Mary students, have all of those kinds of support. These programs could be, for example, other international universities that offer study abroad programs for students. Every summer, for example, we have lots of students going to the London School of Economics in the UK, or it could be a US university offering a study abroad program that's open to international to other visiting students. Or it could be through organizations which are accredited here in the US that offer kind of customized academic study abroad experiences. Again, this is a broad range, many, many different choices. We have hundreds of students going on these every year, and it's a really great option for our students, and would say particularly in our semester, this is one of the most popular options. So, as I mentioned, I talk a little bit more about faculty-led short-term programs, partly because that is often the first study abroad experience many of our students have. These are offered over winter and summer breaks. In the winter, they average about 2 to 3 weeks. In the summer, the average is 5 weeks. And it is really dependent, but some are shorter than that. Others are as long as 8 weeks in country. And it, as I mentioned, is a travel by William and Mary professors with William and Mary students. They receive William and Mary courses and credits. We often have local faculty who are involved in offering those courses. And you can check our website and see all the costs. But the budget model for these is that there's a program fee, which includes all the academic costs, program excursion, room, partial board, insurance. and other things. You'll see detailed by program. And on our website too, you can see what are all those other expenses like airfare, other things that students would be arranging and paying for on their own. And to make sure that there's clear transparency about what these programs can cost. And we have multiple choices. These, I'll talk a little bit more about them in a minute, but while I list the winter 2026-27 deadline here, that's usually too early for our freshmen, but the deadline is always in early September, so it signals to say like if winter down the road is something your student is interested in, then that would be usually early September when you're looking for it. And then for the summer 2027 deadline, that is going to be December 1st of this fall. Now, you've just gone through a enormously rigorous process to get to the university. These faculty-led applications are not nearly as complex. There are no recommendations required, just a few essays, and really are accessible to students as they're going through this process. And you may say, oh, but I don't have a GPA yet for the December 1st deadline. Again, that's understood already in that process. And so students are absolutely able to proceed. For all our faculty-led and study-abroad in general, students do need to be in good academic and conduct standing, meaning not being on probation. This is just a sampling of the summer 2026 programs. We have for space limitation reasons, I listed just some of them, but this gives you a sense of the breadth of different opportunities. Each of these programs have different academic focuses. Some of them, especially like language programs, for example, in Beijing and Berlin, Cadiz, and others, Vilnius, and they really are, those are fairly consistent. They're going to have that language focus. Most of the other programs change in their offerings of courses every year, and so students are able to engage with programs in different ways. Summer 2027 programs, including courses, will be announced in the middle of September, right before Family Weekend, when applications open. And so all that information will be on our website. One note on this particular list that I have here, the Dublin, Ireland program, you'll see it's listed as a global business minor. This is a really exciting, innovative model where students who are not business students, so you can't be a business major or minor, to participate in this, you go but use the summer to get 15 William and Mary credits. It's intensive. It's 11 weeks with 8 weeks in country in Dublin. And then all students need to do is take one accounting course here on a specific accounting course here on campus, and that will allow them to have a global business minor, very much designed to say those business skills are relevant across so many different free fields and career paths. And so that is a really exciting opportunity. I listed, these are the winter 2026-27 programs. These, just like the summer, do change every year. We will usually announce the next winter session, so winter 2027-28. We expect to have that list in May 2027. So students can get more information at that point. But this is a sampling. Again, you can see the variety of different locations, but also from a study perspective, these are really, really varied, from the political science to Geneva Public Health to, in this case, Heidelberg this year is a chemistry, MRI imaging course. The Incheon South Korea program is a Baton School Marine Science program, Human Rights in La Plata, Early American History in context here, and then going to London to study history in that, and so forth. So really, and again, Southeast Asia is business, for example. Salvador this year is music, and Japanese studies in Osaka, and so forth. So again, there's a broad range geographically, but also in terms of content and the kind of courses students are able to engage with. Other program options that I mentioned, again, the sponsored semester. At this point, we have 4 programs each semester, but because they are based on different things. These are unique, even though there's a category. The major difference here is from a program fee. Oxford is much more expensive than the other programs, but the rest of the programs are more similar to William and Mary costs, and that's just because of the cost of Oxford. Sevilla and La Plata have some courses which are considered William and Mary home credit. Others are transfer credit, and for Oxford and Montpellier, these are all transfer credit courses. And I will just note for Oxford, it has a much earlier deadline. For the rest of these programs, it's the semester before going. Oxford's application timeline is January 12th of the year before going. So like January of sophomore year, even if you're studying abroad at Oxford during junior year, spring semester. So that's really early. So if your student's interested in that, is a very rigorous and complex application. But we really work with our students to support them throughout that process. As I mentioned, we also have these partnerships around the world. Each year we have students at St. Andrews University or National University of Singapore and many other places. William and Mary students continue to pay tuition and fees to William and Mary. The room and board is paid on site. And it's based on reciprocity. So which is offered and how many spots we have for each of these programs does vary. And we have dedicated global education advisors who work with students on these particular programs. So we know funding and finances is essential on our mind. We are incredibly grateful to amazing donors, either people who had studied abroad and saw this as life-changing, or those who didn't and really want to make sure future students have that opportunity. That enables us to give over $700,000 in study abroad scholarships. That is on top of financial aid, which is generally portable. And again, we also work with students to leverage external sources. Many of the scholarships that we offer are financial need-based, but we do have some really amazing merit scholarships as well. So we encourage all students to look at our website. You'll see a long listing. We really try to streamline the application process for students. And for the with summer and winter William and Mary faculty-led programs, the deadlines for those particular scholarships dedicated to those programs is also at the application time. And for the William and Mary faculty-led programs, we don't ask your students to make a commitment until they've heard back for those particular scholarships and from financial aid so that they can have a full picture before making a final commitment to a program. And costs do vary greatly across different program types and destinations. So as you know, these are really different experiences, but there are lots of opportunities that are really, that students have really been able to access, and we continue to work on increasing scholarship opportunities for students. In terms of some other logistics and questions that often come up, grades. So William and Mary faculty-led programs, as well as the Sevilla and La Plata, some of the courses for those two are William and Mary courses and grades. All other programs are transfer credit. Every single academic department in the undergraduate level has a dedicated faculty member who is responsible each year for working with students on transfer credit for their department. We coordinate through our office with clear instructions and kind of tutorials for that. Students write a reflection essay and then are able to earn credit. That is, again, students are using these credits for major or minor. Sometimes our students are going abroad to explore an entirely new field as well. Everything does have Call 300 for all. In terms of deadlines, most of the programs, you've seen the faculty-led deadlines for semester or third party. Most of those deadlines are the semester before. Oxford really is the notable exception for semester programs because it has such an earlier deadline, but it is an extraordinary program as a tutorial system. So well worth our time for students to kind of apply early and know what their plans will be. And while this is last, it is certainly not least, it's front and mind for us at all times. That is the health and safety of students abroad. There are rigorous protocols, pre-departure orientations, for all of our students. I, our Associate Director for International Travel and Security, and others are on call 24/7. We have students receive through our office international medical and evacuation insurance. We work closely and to monitor things. And so there's really a lot of effort behind the scenes thinking about the health and safety to see which countries are currently not open for students to study abroad in based on State Department ratings. You can visit our website as well. So, how to get started as you're supporting your students, and we really appreciate your support in this process. Students can visit the Global Education Office. This is a picture of our office from the outside. From 11 to 5, Monday through Friday, once the semester starts, we have peer advisors. So these are students who've studied abroad, applied for a very competitive positions and receive special training to support students. We also have, so if a student just wants to talk to a peer first and kind of bounce off different ideas, we also have a whole team of professional global education advisors here to support your students, know the programs, have regional or program assignments. Students can meet in person, online, per phone, can schedule their appointments through our website. So really our website is a great starting point. We also have videos, Study Abroad 101 and Study Abroad 201, which are great starting points to understand the process a little bit more. So with that, we hope to see your students and you in the near future. If you're here for Family Weekend, we will have the Study Abroad Fair on that Saturday. And that's a great opportunity to meet many of the faculty leading programs overseas this next year, but also to meet the third-party organizers and lots of other students and others to hear more and learn more about the specific program options. Thank you again for your interest. Welcome to William & Mary, and I look forward to meeting you in the future. Thank you.